Yeah, I know Noob3 already made one of these videos, but I didn't personally agree with all his placements, and he didn't do the obnoxious thing of taking and dragging each killer to its spot, so I'm just going to throw in my own 2 cents here. First up is Trapper. Trapper is very situational depending on the map, which is not good, because it means you have to bring a map offering, and you still might not get it if another person brings one. You could be very good on maps like Lambkin Lane or the game, like the hospital. But on, say, Rotten Fields, you're just going to lose. So I'm putting Trapper in D tier. Moving on. Next up is the Wraith. The Wraith can depend. He starts at... Depending on how large the map is, he can cover some distances faster with his bell, and he just have base movement speed, but he is just an M1 killer in Natural Chase. Despite how fun he is to play, I don't think he can really go higher than D tier. Next up, Billy. Billy, you all know Billy. He is the easiest killer to play if you also want to win. He is ridiculously good. He has pretty much full control over the gens, insta-downs, and he has his normal, pretty much the fastest base movement speed tied with everyone who also has it. So, I'm placing him in A tier. I'm going to point out now that the placements on the tier thing, they don't have anything to do with it. I'm just placing them in the order of how they came out. Next up is Nurse. Now, Nurse, I don't think I need to say anything about. She is the only killer who can pass through objects. She can't be pallet looped, she can't be window looped, jungle gymmed, T-walled. You can be infinite. There's nothing you can do to counterplay here. The most you can try to do is to just juke her, which is not going to work against a smart killer after a certain amount of times, and then hide, which is not a very good playstyle. So, Nurse is S tier. Next is Myers. Myers is interesting. He is an M1 killer, pretty much, but he has... I'm just going to resize this here. He has the ability to charge up and get insta-downs relatively quickly, depending on the add-ons. But he is very slow in Tier 1, but he also has a huge varied amount of playstyles. So I'm just going to put him in B tier here, because for his variety, but he can also get looped pretty easily because he has nothing to help him with movement. Next, Hag. Hag is one of those ones that I think is going to vary an opinion a lot. Some people are going to say she should be all the way up at S tier. Some people will say she should be in a tier below F. When she came out on release, she was definitely, like, around here. And eventually, like, around the time I think Spirit came out, or sometime in between these two, she was about S tier. But now, she's in a fairly good spot. I'm going to put her right here in B tier. She can open up a lot of mind games, because for some reason nobody seems to use the traps effectively. Next, Doctor. Doctor is kind of varies. I can't say that I can put Doctor super low because he does have the ability to slow the game down insanely well with his shock, but it can also take him a while, and he doesn't have any movement affecting effects. But because of just how he can slow the game down with his shock, I have to put him in C tier. I can't put him any higher because of his limited, but I can't put him any lower because of this shock. Next, Leatherface. Everyone hates Leatherface. Killer mains and survivor mains alike. We all hate Leatherface. But I have to place him somewhere. He is not good. He's just objectively worse than Billy and has nothing to really help him with movement. Next is Huntress. Huntress can be a bit hit or miss. If you hit your shots effectively and can actually aim, she can be very powerful, but there's a lot going against her. She's really slow. She has lower map control. She can be blocked by walls, especially in maps like the Cold Winds. So, but because of her potential for hitting those shots at range, I'm gonna stick her in B tier. Next up is Freddy. Now there's no contest here. Freddy's bottom to F tier. Freddy. Next up is Piggy. Now, Piggy is what a lot of people consider a mid-tier killer. It's like prime example of a mid-tier killer. And I would have agreed with you, put her right in C tier. However, Endgame Collapse came out, and her traps were nerfed so hard that she is basically an M1 killer with a crouch. Which can be useful, but it's not that good. So I'm actually going to have to put her in D tier instead of C. Sorry, Piggy. I wish they didn't butcher you like they did. Abyss Clown. So, Clown is an odd thing. He has the again, tied for the fastest base movement speed in the game with this. I'm not going to name them all, but he is tied for the fastest movement speed in the game. And he does have a ranged ability, which is really powerful. Slow them down. Break chases like no killer except for Nurse up here. So because of all this going for him, I'm going to put him into B tier. Next, Spirit. I don't think there's any contest with Spirit. This is pretty much taken the top spot of highest skill cap killer in the game. Nurse originally was the highest skill cap because you had to get rid of her blinks, but most other killers didn't take that much skill. But she's pretty much become an insanely skilled thing. Once you learn to use your ears and watch scratch marks and predict mind games, she is incredibly powerful. Next is Legion. Legion is, put it bluntly, he got destroyed in the most recent update, and he was already bad to begin with. Legion is just, everyone hates Legion more than they hate Leatherface in most cases. Being annoying, and being a bad killer in general, despite people playing him. He goes in E tier. Power is not super useful, he's super slow, in normal form is just not very good. Then we have Plague. Now Plague, her power is, here's the thing about her power, is it's not very useful. Her power makes it so that she gets the vomit on people, and then they're sick, and they can become broken after a while. But the thing is, there's no reason to make people sick if you... Here's the thing, if you can chase someone, there's no point in making them sick and then hitting them. You might as well just down them in 2 hits. Unless you're planning on losing them in a chase, there's no point on giving them sick. And then there's no reason for survivors to cleanse, because then they give you the really powerful Corrupt Purge, which is very powerful, so survivors aren't going to want to give it to the Plague. She has so much counterplay and so much going against her that I'm kind of tempted to put her into E tier here. So I'm going to have to drop her there. So that's my tier list.